the central bank would have all of the information about where we decide to purchase, what we do with our money, what we invest, what we save. No? So it becomes a tremendous risk, at least, that the central bank uses all of that information to know exactly what people are doing. More importantly, it can also direct newly created money to those citizens that are perceived as being socially or politically acceptable. So it can, in some form, support or provide some level of premium to newly created money to the citizens that are in some sort of way, well, behaving as politicians want, and penalize those that behave in a different manner. That is one of the risks of obviously having a digital currency.
It's a pretty scary thought, and I believe that China, the central bank in China, have even said that their currency could have like a use by date, a sell by date, and if the person hasn't spent the money by then, basically the central bank can just turn off their money, take it away again, right?
Yeah, which generates another enormous risk for many citizens. You don't know if you're going to be able to save your money because it can disappear from the account. Furthermore, it might make people spend on things that they don't require, and then create a perverse incentive to demand more money, even if the inflationary pressures are rising. So, in reality, having a sell by date makes it even more risky, not less risky.
And then how about from a banking perspective? If everyone has an account with this central bank, are we going to start to see less smaller banks? Does everybody just do their banking with the central bank?
Well, obviously, it's a big threat to independent banks, isn't it? It is a very big threat because ultimately the mechanism of transmission of monetary policy is conducted, sorry, via the credit mechanism that is provided and supplied by independent banks. So if you uh, completely erase the credit mechanism and the transmission mechanism of monetary policy and have citizens have their accounts in the central bank, then obviously it's a very important threat for banks.
Let's take China as a totalitarian regime. I read an opinion piece by the editorial board on Bloomberg just today, and basically they said, no need to be so worried about China's digital currency. They say that we'll use them as a guinea pig. The West should use them as a guinea pig. They're out in front. They can make all the mistakes, and then the West can basically just introduce their own, improved on version. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it looks like a good idea, but in paper. And it's like so many good ideas that look interesting in paper, they can be very dangerous in practice for a very simple reason. Um, as I mentioned before, the Chinese economy has capital controls, and the Chinese central bank already uh, decides almost on a daily basis a fixing of the yuan. No, so the idea that something like this is going to be implemented and that then you can do it but better is looks interesting. But if what the West is going to do is to do the same in terms of the big risks, which are uncontrolled increase in monetary policy, fungible sell by dates, and control of the central bank of the entire transmission system of monetary policy, if those three elements remain the same, then it's not that you wait for China to make a mistake, is that you will adopt the same mistakes of what is not necessarily a good idea, which is the central bank digital currency itself.
I would say, the chances of central banks actually doing what you've been advising them to do and doing it with the digital currency is pretty slim, right? To restrain themselves and adopt sound money policies. If they don't do it, are we going to see something like Bitcoin or another, a privately held cryptocurrency or something actually competing with these sovereign currencies?
Absolutely. If central banks don't understand that destroying the currency's purchasing power and destroying the confidence in the currency, be it digital or be it the what we know today as the fiat currency, is going to be extremely damaging and create a much more robust alternative, be it Bitcoin or anything else. If they don't understand that, um, they should really start to do it. They should really start to do it because the idea that you can constantly push the limits of monetary policy to the extreme, wait for something to happen, and if it doesn't happen, push the limits again, ends up generating a tremendous problem. So the point that I'm trying to make is that central banks should avoid trying to play the lesser evil and should start showing citizens that the reason why there is confidence in the currency is because it maintains its value as a reserve of value, and that it will continue to be widely accepted as a currency and means of payment and as a unit of measure. Because any type of threat or legal action or trying to ban cryptocurrencies, etc., will not work. If it's not cryptocurrencies, it'll be gold. If it's not gold, it'll be silver. If it's not something else, citizens will run away from the currency if they perceive that the objective of the central bank is to destroy the purchasing power and the savings of citizens.
Wow, it's a really, really interesting space, really heating up. Daniel Lacalle, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like my videos, leave your comments below, and keep defending freedom. Thank you very much.